couple months since I've been able to do a LinkedIn face. So as you can see, I'm not at home in my home office or at a remote office in Durango. I'm in a hotel room. And I've had a couple requests on how to mobilize or work out while you're traveling, because it's not easy. And I actually get a lot of comments when I speak to other leaders around, like, how do you stay in shape when I'm gone? I travel a couple times a month, sometimes one night, sometimes 3 nights. But I'm always, be on the go. And honestly, traveling isn't my favorite thing, but it does help. I'm going to show you a few things today that will really help you. And before I get started, because we're going to start at 3 Pacific Standard Time. We have a couple of minutes. If there's any questions that you have, let me know. And Dr. Marissa will be on too to answer any questions on the LinkedIn account. So make sure just real quick, if you've got a couple of balls, 2 lacrosse balls or 2 tennis balls, that will work. A sock, ideally a clean one, that would be super helpful. And today we're going to mobilize in a hotel room. Now, I know that every hotel room is a little bit different in how clean they are, but giving it the benefit of the doubt, I just actually did a quick workout in my hotel room, which I'll talk about in a sec. So it is what it is. I'm going to lay on the hotel room floor, use these balls, stretch a little bit. And best part is I'm going to feel better when I go into this conference that I'm speaking at. So, all right, we'll give it one more minute before we get started. Going to check in with Dr. Marissa. Let's see. Hold on here. I'm going to check on LinkedIn. See if I'm live. Give me a moment. This is always the fun part. All right. Does not look like I'm going live on LinkedIn at the moment. Okay. Well, that also may just be because of hotel room mobility. But we're going to get started anyway. So, how do you mobilize when you're traveling? Well, first of all, usually when we travel, we don't feel like doing much, right? Like maybe you're tired, maybe you're up really earlier than normal. Usually I take the earliest flight out of where I'm going because I always have to do a stop. And so you may be tired, right? Traveling and just sitting down can tire you out and can make your back fatigue, can make your glutes fatigue. And then when you get out of the airplane and you go into the airport and get in a cab or an Uber or a Lyft to get where you want to go, that might take some time too. And then you finally get to your hotel room, you're feeling kind of exhausted. And I have to say, like, on my way in today to the hotel, I did not feel like doing a workout today or mobility is one thing, but doing an exercise, something to get my blood flow going, wasn't something that was on the top of my mind or that I wanted to do. And that is something that you got to overcome, is the need to feel like it. Like you got to feel good to work out. You got to feel good to mobilize. The whole point of working out and exercising and mobilizing is to feel good. The result is to feel good. If you're waiting to feel good to do those things, you're going to wait a long time, right? Because whether you have kids or work, life is going to happen. So a lot of times you got to do it when you don't feel like it. Now, I'm not saying if you're super sick or you haven't slept in days, right? I'm talking about just this kind of discomfort that you feel from the aches and pains of traveling, right? You got to just to come to the feeling of, I don't feel like it, and do it anyway, because guess what? The motivation will come. So right before I did this, I did a 10-minute, what we call Tabata, which means it was 20 seconds of working out, 10 seconds of rest. And all I did anyway was push-ups, jump squats, and pistols. So I did a version of a pistol that worked for me. But those 2-3 exercises were enough. So every 20 seconds, I do an activity, and then I rest 10 seconds. And I did that for 10 minutes, and that's it. And I know that where I'm at, I'm going to be walking a lot. So I'm going to probably accrue already I've accrued 5,000 steps, and I don't really feel like I've done much today. Now, I've got a lot of walking to do later, so I probably will accrue 10,000 more steps. Ideally, each of you should get at least 8 to 10,000 to 12,000 a day, no matter what, outside of any regular exercise. All right, so now what we're going to do is, I don't care if you feel like it or not, grab those balls of yours, put them in a sock, and let's do some mobility. Now, we're going to do 5 different mobility techniques today. We're going to focus on, because with traveling, you're sitting a lot. You have a rounded back. Sometimes if I fall asleep, I start to fall into this hunched position if I don't have my little neck pillow. So we're going to work on the glutes. We're going to work on that mid back. We're going to work on the base of the neck, and we're going to do the front of the hip too, and the outside of the hip. So, but we're going to work on the balls with the balls first. And here's why. Because when muscles get really stiff, right, what we want to do is get in there with the ball and loosen them up, actually stretch them. If they're really stiff and we start to stretch them, it's not going to feel so good versus getting in there with a ball and mobilizing that gritty tissue, then going in and stretching is going to feel so much better. All right, so let's get into the glutes. I'm going to get these balls. Hopefully you can see them. Okay, and I'm going to place the ball on the outside of my hip. All right, so the ball, if I think of the outside of my hip is right here, I'm placing the balls right behind my hip. So if my hip joint is right here, right, I'm putting the balls right behind it. I'm going to lean on it like this, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and take my knee out and in, just like so. And this doesn't feel so good right now because I've been sitting for a period of time, and sitting isn't great for the glutes. We're not designed to sit. Actually, stress and sitting, 2 S's we could get rid of in our lives. Stress and sitting more. Okay, so move your knee out and in. Now go ahead and drive that foot out and up like so. Bend and extend. It's like jazzercise with your lacrosse balls, right? I prefer this kind of jazzercise to the Jane Fonda kind, to be honest. All right, so we're going to stay here and just work on breathing. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Now find a different spot on your glute. Maybe the back part of your glute where the bikini line is. I know you all have a bikini line, kind of where that sacrum is. Now those balls are going to be about vertical on my glutes. Okay, so now I'm rolling those balls side to side along that bikini line. Oh, that feels really good. So when I sit for a long time, I decrease blood flow and activity to this area of my body. This muscle in the back of my body is my glutes are the things that protect my lower back. I want them to be active and awake. So this feels nice. We're going to spend about 90 seconds to 2 minutes here, okay? And then we're going to do both sides. We're doing this together. So grab your balls, grab your sock. Let's do some mobility together. And if you're just jumping on, I'm in a hotel room mobilizing with the best piece of equipment you can carry around with you, which is 2 lacrosse balls or 2 orbs of love, orbs of pain in a sock. All right, so keep working back and forth, back and forth. Good work. All right. So now what we're going to do is place those balls on the top of the hip, and I'm going to do kind of a gangster lean here, okay, like so. So the balls are now on the side of my hip, and I'm just going to bring my foot up and down, like so. Making sure I breathe and pay attention to, is that tissue tenderness decreasing or is it getting worse? Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. When you breathe in, try to breathe in through your nose. When you breathe out through your mouth. And if this is too much, just stay there. Don't move, right? You can just breathe in and out and start to pay attention to, this is where mindfulness comes in, is the tissue starting to relax? Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Now, let's stay on this one side. It's going to be a little different. They do in yoga, they do one side and then they do the other. So now what you're going to do, all right, before we get to the mid-back, is we're going to stretch the front of the hip, like so. I'll move back. So I'm going to have my knee on the ground, my foot relaxed, okay? What I want to do is tuck my pelvis under. So think about if there was, your belly button, you want to point your belly button towards the ceiling and then drive your pelvis forward, okay? Just like so. Drive your pelvis forward. And now I'm just kind of going in and out, feeling where it feels more tender or more stiff. And I'm going to stay there. So still searching. All right. So here it is. I'm going to stay right here. Good. I feel it nice. I feel a nice pull here. Doesn't feel like too much. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to squeeze the muscles of my lower body, glutes, quads, feet, and hold for about 6 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to relax and drive my pelvis forward. Good. I'm going to squeeze everything. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Drive my pelvis forward. And then I'm going to squeeze. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Drive my pelvis forward. I'm going to feel more of a stretch in here. So I need to do a few more because I'm still feeling it after sitting for so long. All right, so squeeze everything, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax, drive the pelvis forward. Oh yeah, feels nice and good. Okay, so now if you're really curious or ready for a challenge, grab your foot, okay? Drop your pelvis, so keep tucking that pelvis under. Now you're really going to feel a pull in that quad. For some of you, you might need a pillow underneath that knee. Now let's go ahead and push that foot into the hand and hold for 6 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Drive that heel towards the butt. Okay, push that heel down. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Drive. One more time. Push that heel foot into the hand. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Drive the heel to the butt. Oh man, I already feel that's a little bit of proprioceptive neurofacilitation. I already feel it loosened up here quite a bit. It was really stiff after sitting. I wasn't even sitting that long today. It was just a few hours of the flight. Okay, now we're going to get into the pigeon stretch. Glutes out. So what you're going to do is place that foot, knee up in front of you, foot out to the side and or bent if that feels better. I'm going to try to do it this way and then sit my hips back, okay? And let myself square my hips off to the ground, right? I'm going to feel a nice stretch on the outside of my hip. So I'll get you guys to see this side, okay? I'm going to hold myself up just like so. So I'm going to feel it right. I'm going to hold it here. Hold. We're going to do the same thing as we did before. Squeeze. Squeeze our butt, squeeze our thighs, squeeze everything, and hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Sink a little bit deeper. Oh man, this loosens up a lot faster when you do the proprioceptive, the PNF type stretching, which is contracting and relaxing. Let's go again. Hold, push. 2, 3, 5, 6. Relax. Sink back. And push, contract, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Sink a little bit deeper. There we go. Let's do it one more time. Contract, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Sink a little deeper. Oh, that feels good. Let's just check in. How we doing? Oh man, my right side feels really good, a little looser. Left side needs some work. Go figure. So grab your balls again. Let's get to the left side. We're going to go behind the glute, okay? Right behind, I should say behind the glute, behind the hip joint. So you grab that hip joint, you're going to go right behind it with the balls. Okay? Lean on your side. I'll scoot back so you can see me. All right? And you're going to bend and extend. You know what might be helpful is if I tilt the thing down just a little bit. Okay. All right. So I'm talking tomorrow about, and then just go and do this with me as I share something with you. I'm talking on the competitive advantage, about your health being a competitive advantage. And there was an interesting comment I had the other day from a guy that was, I was speaking about well-being, morale, an organization and whatnot, and using competitive advantage is in the same sentence. And he was like, so is well-being and morale like part of the competitive advantage, or is it different? And this is a pretty smart guy. And I was like, it's the same. You having well-being and high morale in your organization is your competitive advantage. Being healthy is your competitive advantage because you last longer in doing what you love, right? You don't burn out as quickly, right? You're able to handle things with more ease. What would that mean for you? Oftentimes, well-being is lost among leaders because there's so many other things they have pulling at them. I get this. Now we're going to place the balls on your sacrum. So bikini line, remember. So put the balls vertical on that bikini line. You're doing a great job demonstrating here. So I'm going to roll back and forth. Oh man, this one is feeling pretty stiff. Getting into that nitty-gritty tissue, I am getting some blood flow here. It's feeling good. Good work, everyone. Following along. We're getting there. But remember, your self-care is your competitive advantage. Right? I'm going into conference. I'm not running straight there. I'm taking time for myself to prepare my mind and body. And then I'm going to practice my speech one more time and then go, right? And then I'll be giving it tomorrow. But I don't need to be on all the time. I could give myself little pockets of time to do things like this. Now move the balls to the upper part of the hip. This is going to take us a total of 25 minutes together, but if you did it on your own, it'll probably take you 15. That's nothing. And it'll help you feel better when you're walking around. It'll work out all those aches and pains from traveling. Now we're putting the balls on the side of our hip. Okay, so moving that foot up and down. If this is too much for you, just go ahead and stay in one place and breathe in slowly and breathe out. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. This side's pretty stiff for me. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. I'm going to move my foot up and down like so. All right, a little bit more time. If you're just hopping on, we are doing hotel room mobility, right? You're in a hotel room, you got the best little packet of mobility equipment you can bring is 2 lacrosse balls or orbs of love. Put them in a sock. It works just like a foam roller. Not really, it's a little bit dense, but it's easy to pack. So now let's get up. I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more time on that left hip today. So now we're gonna do the front of the hip stretch. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis under and drive my pelvis forward, okay? Then I'm gonna stretch here, hold. Okay, I'm gonna tighten my body, tighten my glutes, tighten my quads, tighten my feet, hold for about 6 seconds with this 4 times. 3, 5, 6, relax, drive your pelvis forward. This is part of your competitive advantage. Your health is your competitive advantage. Your health is your business, right? It'll make you better at everything you do. Get tight, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax, drive the pelvis forward. Good. Let's go again. Contract, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax, drive the pelvis forward. When I say contract, I'm contracting the glutes and the front of the hip here. Okay, let's do it again. Squeeze, hold the glutes, hold the quad, contract, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax, drive the pelvis forward. Good. Now, I'm going to grab my foot, a little bit of balance. I'm going to widen my stance a little bit. Okay. Drive my foot towards my glute. Now I'm going to try to push my foot into my hand and contract for about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Drive my foot towards my butt. Good. Push your foot into your hand. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Drive the foot towards the butt. Ooh, this feels good. You can do this on a couch too, putting your foot up on the back of the couch and getting a nice quad stretch. This side feels awesomely better than the other side, awesomely or surprisingly. Push your foot into your hand. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Drive the foot towards the butt. Oh man, that one was a little bit easier to release or relax. So now we're going to do that pigeon stretch. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and drive my foot up, push my hips back. Okay. Knee is in front of me. If you need to bend your knee, that's fine too. But ideally, try to keep your foot in line with the knee, square off those hips and sink back. Now what I'm going to do is contract my glutes, contract my quad, contract my lower legs, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax, drive your pelvis towards the ground. Oh yeah. And contract, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Drive the pelvis towards the ground. There we go. Couple more. Sink in, starting to loosen up a little bit. And contract. Squeeze every 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Sink a little bit deeper. There we go. And one more time. Contract. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Sink into the ground. I already feel a little bit looser, although this side is going to need a little bit more TLC later. 2 more techniques, and then we'll be done. So now what we're going to do is place these balls on the mid-back. Now I'm showing you on my front, but they're going to place them along the spine in the mid-back. So I'll turn around right in this area. Okay. So what you're going to do is lay down. Okay. I'm going to lay this way. Okay. So you guys can see me. Okay. So I'm going to lay down. Right. And what I'm going to do is I'm down just a little bit. Oh yeah. It feels really stiff in this mid-back. And now what I'm going to do is try to flatten my back and breathe in nice and deep into my belly. Lift my hips up. Breathe out and come down. Breathe in into my belly. Lift my hips up. Breathe out. Come down. I'm going to do that a couple more times. Breathe in. Lift my hips up. Breathe out. Come down. Breathe in. Lift my hips up. Breathe out. Come down. Now I'm going to have the balls move up a couple inches. So now they're between my shoulder blades, okay? Between my shoulder blades. Now I'm really sweating. I was actually sweating during the workout, but now this is also causing me to sweat. So now I'm going to do the same thing, okay? So I'm going to breathe in, fill up my belly. We'll drive my hips up, okay? Breathe out, bring my hips down. Breathe in, drive my hips up. Breathe out, bring my hips down. Breathe in, bring my hips up. Breathe out, bring my hips down. If I really want this, I can bring my arms over my head. Whoa. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh yeah. Breathe in, breathe out. I know I'm really sweating here. Breathe in, breathe out. However, I'm in a hotel room and who cares? Breathe in, and breathe out. My mid-back is starting to loosen up. How about yours? So after a couple minutes of that, fighting 2 different spots on that mid-back, we're going to move to our last spot, which is at the base of our neck, or the top of our neck. Okay? So I'll try to move this way this time. So we're going to place the balls right behind our neck here. All right? So let me move down a little bit so you can see me. All right. So now the balls are right behind the base of my neck. I'm holding on to them. I'm just gently shaking my head. Yes. Yes, I love this. This is so good. And then no. No, I'm not going to go to sleep now. No. No. No, it's not time for dinner. Yes. Yes, I love this. Yes, I feel more motivated. Not time for lunch either. That's over. No, don't bring your foam roller. Bring the lacrosse balls in a sock. Yes. And then I just want you to press back of your head into the balls and hold. So a few reps of just holding for about 6 seconds. And then relax. Close your eyes. Press the back of your head into the balls and hold. Then relax. Press and hold. Then relax. All right. Now, go ahead and come up. Let's do a quick review of this. Thanks for those of you who are sticking around. So we did a glute release on 3 different parts of our glutes. We did a hip stretch, the front of the hip stretch. We did a pigeon stretch for the outside of the hip. We did a mobility drill we did the mid-back release with the 2 balls as well as the base of the neck. So good to go. You have 5 different techniques that you can do. Grab a couple of them and do them after you train. You can also, after you travel. You can also travel with these, and I like to put them behind my mid-back or lower back in an airplane. It's great. It doesn't take up a ton of space, and it feels good, especially on those longer flights. I even put them underneath my glutes too. So have some fun with it. Now, let me see if we have any questions before we stop. Let's see. Okay. I don't know. I know Marissa will be seeing if there's questions if we actually got it up and going on LinkedIn. I do want to make one announcement, though, that we have a webinar coming up on November 16th at 4 Pacific Standard Time. So when this does post, we'll put a link in the comments, but make sure we have a LinkedIn Live event happening. You can look it up on my profile, and or you can, my email is teresa.larson@movement-rx.com. But the webinar will be on how to retain your people by recharging your health. And we'll go into this thing called fixed versus growth mindset, which I think is really important to understand and know where you stand. I used to work with a lot of very fixed-minded people. And oftentimes when you have a fixed mind, and I did too, that kind of rubbed off on me, you end up blaming and shaming others. Growth mindset, right? You're open-minded. You're kind of what we call a learn-it-all versus a know-it-all or blaming someone else for what's going on with you. So that's what we're going to be going over and during the webinar. So make sure you check it out November 16th at 4 Pacific Standard Time. You can go either email me, message me on LinkedIn, or we'll put it in the comments once this video goes live if it hasn't already. All right, everyone, have a good day. I'm going to get ready for our event. Look forward to seeing you next time.